Gas prices are at a 7-year high, with one California town reaching a whopping $7.59 per gallon.
What? What the fuck?
Hi, everybody. This is the Anti-Woke Warrior. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate everybody supporting my work and my channel. Please be sure to drop a like on the video. Make sure that you're subscribed, still subscribed. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And be sure to share the video. That's going to go a long ways towards kind of getting the word out about what it is I do, what I talk about, who I am, and fighting this culture war. We all have to do our part. So let's get into this article and find out why it is that gas prices are so high. We see down here an image. This is, I think, about what gas prices are in my area. I'm not sure, but pretty close to that. It says, the caption says, gas prices approaching $5 a gallon are displayed in front of a Shell station on October 5th, 2021 in San Rafael, California. Gas prices in a small California town hit $7.59 per gallon of regular unleaded this week. That's nearly double the national average, which is at a 7-year high. As ever, a variety of complex factors play into the cost of gasoline. This week at your average American gas station, you're likely to find prices in the $3.50 range for 1 gallon of regular unleaded gasoline. But if you're in a rural California along the Big Sur coastline, you could pay more than double that price. Wow. And that's true, yeah. I mean, $7.59 is more than double $3.50. In Gorda, for instance, one gas station is charging a whopping $7.59 per gallon of regular unleaded. And premium is just shy of $8.50 per gallon. Local ABC affiliate KFSN reported on Thursday. Even if you're filling up a car with a relatively small tank, a $7.59 per gallon, you're looking at over $75 for just 10 gallons. Yep. It's not just you. Gasoline prices are at a 7-year high, according to federal data. Though there are some clear reasons for this that are particular to this moment in time, such as the ongoing effects of a global pandemic, gas prices are the result of a variety of complex factors. The cartel of oil exporters that control the oil market, for instance, has a huge amount of influence over the price of gasoline. That group, which includes OPEC and other oil-producing nations, recently reconfirmed plans to gradually increase oil production despite pressure from the United States and India. Pressure from us to stop producing oil? To stop producing gas? Is that what this is all about? Unfortunately, the upward trend in gasoline prices is expected to continue, according to AAA. With oil prices remaining elevated, pump prices will follow suit because the cost of crude oil accounts for more than half of the price of each gallon of gas. A blog post from the American Automobile Association said, oil demand, the post said, is only expected to increase as winter approaches, and that could put more pressure on supply in the coming months. Okay, so why am I reading you an article about the price of gas if I'm the anti-woke warrior, right? I'm here to challenge wokeness. I'm not here to talk about economics. Well, why is this gas so high? Probably because we have a woke president. We went ahead and elected a woke president. The wokest of the woke presidents, as far as I can tell. I mean, I remember gas being much lower under Donald Trump, who was like me. He's against wokeness. He even came out and said that. Joe Biden, on the other hand, goes around spreading lies like this.
Folks, I realize I get a little too passionate about this sometimes, but we all have an obligation to do nothing less than change the culture in this country. That's just the laws. We change the laws. Change the culture. The culture. You all know what the phrase rule of thumb means? Where it's derived from? In English common law, not codification, common law. Back in the late 1300s, so many women were dying at the hands of their husbands because they were a chattel, just like the cattle or the sheep, that the court of common law decided they had to do something about the extent of the death. So you know what they said? No man has a right to chastise his woman with a rod thicker than the circumference of his thumb. This is English jurisprudential culture, a white man's culture. It's got to change. It's got to change.
Now, Let's begin with where this is all wrong. He's talking about a different country. Yes. The United States has borrowed a lot from England. You could say that our culture is even based, our culture, our economics, our government is even based on the English way of life. But that is a different country still. And you're talking about 650 years ago? Think culture hasn't changed yet? Joe, think that white man's culture is so bad? Joe, well, here's the truth. White men never, ever treated women as chattel. They treated slaves as chattel, and some of those slaves were women, yes, but no, free women were never treated as chattel. That's always been an abomination to Europe. I don't know where you're getting this information from, but it's just not even remotely true. But, he's going to say whatever he can to get people to support him. And enough people believe this crap that, oh, yeah, women used to be chattel. I mean, we heard Matt Binder say this. Women, 100 and some such years ago, women were chattel.
Literally just maybe 100 or so years ago, 100 and such a few years ago, that women were still viewed as chattel. Women were still viewed as chattel. Women were still viewed as chattel.
It's not even remotely true. So why is this so important? Well, it's because of shortages. Are you suffering shortages in your area? I hope you're not, but if you are, the gas prices are one of the problems. You got the woke president coming in and shutting down the Keystone Pipeline because, the Native Americans are oppressed. So got to shut down that pipeline. Look, if there are environmental impacts because of the pipeline, we need to address that. But there's environmental impacts of shipping gas by train and by truck too. So, where do you draw the line? What one is the least impactful, and which one is going to allow us to become the best country that we can be at the same time? Because that's what we need to do. We need to have a base where we're the best, which we already have, but we need to continue to maintain that base, and then we can address these other issues. But the shortages are actually not caused by the ports. We keep hearing, the ports are closed. The LA ports closed. Here we got the Wall Street Journal talking about Port of Los Angeles stopped short of 24-hour operations, unlike Long Beach. What? So the Port of Long Beach is open 24 hours. It was already open 16 hours a day anyway. But the Los Angeles port it's not doing that. I wonder why. Well, let's take a look here, the article. The Port of Los Angeles is holding back on extending its gate hours as encouraged by the Biden administration, focusing instead on boosting efficiency in operations while coping with a surge in imports into the critical U.S. trade gateway. Remember, if you didn't know this, to deal with the shortages, Joe Biden said, hey, the ports need to be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's going to bring you the stuff that you need. Now, I haven't really been suffering from shortages here in my area. Let's hope that I don't, but I'm pretty close to L.A., so I've got stuff coming into L.A. What? How is it that I have stuff coming into LA, that California has stuff coming into LA when we're seeing that we have to open the ports more? The stuff isn't coming in. Well, we're going to get to that. The decision, a contrast to the rapid adoption of a 24-hour gate operations 4 days a week at the neighboring Port of Long Beach, highlights complications in the nascent Biden administration effort to address congestion in U.S. supply chains that is raising shipping costs and contributing to inventory shortages. There's Gene Soroka, executive director of the Port of Los Angeles, said there is slack in the system that connects inbound and outbound containers to trucks serving inland distribution points. He said 30% of trucking appointment slots for transferring cargo go unused each day on average, even as dozens of container ships gather offshore, waiting for berths, and port terminals process record volumes of inbound boxes. So the Los Angeles port is processing record numbers of inbound boxes, but they have to hold off many of the ships because the trucks aren't coming in to pick up the merchandise and ship it around the country. Do you think that maybe $7.59 per gallon gas has something to do with that? Maybe these truckers are like, yeah, I can't afford that, because there are independent truckers. I can't afford to even operate my rig. What I'm getting paid to ship this stuff around the country. The gas is too expensive. I think maybe that's a problem. If that's not going to be enough, we will go to extended hours, Mr. Soroka said. But first, I'd like to take care of where we are not working so well at the present time. The port's gates are closed during the early morning hours midweek, and have limited hours on Saturdays. They are closed on Sundays. Mr. Soroka said the port can extend operating hours only if trucking, warehousing, and other industries also move toward 24-hour operations. You can't hire labor. You can't open terminal gates and tell everybody you are open for business and nobody shows up, he said. So that's what it comes down to, is the system that we have is not designed to handle the freight coming into the ports. And now there has been a supply chain backup due to overland shipping, not due to the ports, not due to shipping from across the seas. No, it's these outrageous limitations that the Biden administration has put on things, these restrictions that increase the price of gas excessively. And this is going to be our future all over the country with Joe Biden presidency, I fear. So President Woke gets in there, and you know, he's got to listen to everybody who he thinks is oppressed. Last time I checked, in the United States, nobody was actually oppressed, not legally. And you want to talk about being discriminatory against people. You know what is the #1 acceptable form of discrimination in this country, in the world in general, actually? It's height discrimination. And I am a short man, so, you know, I've felt the pinch my whole life. You want to sit there and tell me that I'm so privileged because I'm white? Well, there's other factors that go into whether or not a person is discriminated against, other than the color of their skin. So I wanted to get a quick video out today. I am just so busy right now. My schedule, we were all complaining about it because they didn't schedule our classes until Friday. We have a new term starting on Monday. This is an accelerated program that I work in at the college. So we have a new term every 4 weeks, basically. And they didn't get our schedules updated until Friday evening. And so this whole weekend I've been just scrambling to get my classes together so that I can teach on tomorrow, Monday. Anyway, that is all I got for you this time. Again, thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Make sure you click on that like button before you head out. It only takes a second, and I will see you in the next video.